Good morning. It is 8:26 a.m. I've been really wanting to record a YouTube video on friendships in general. I think I'm gonna have a series on friendships. Yeah, because I just did a series on dating, and I just posted a video on Friends with Benefits. So I think this is a good transition in a way to do some videos on friendships. And I wanted to chat about platonic friendships with the opposite sex. Is it possible to be friends with the opposite sex, considering if you're heterosexual? Now, if you're homosexual, of course, you know what I mean? But we're going to speak on the heterosexual, and even in terms of the homosexual, is it possible, just in general, to be friends with a sex that you're attracted to? Let's just put it that way. Is it possible to have a platonic relationship with the sex that you're attracted to? That's what we're gonna call it. The short answer is yes. The long answer is yes, but, and that's kind of what I want to discuss, the but part. In platonic friendships with either the opposite sex or whatever sex you are attracted to. And the but is there because, especially, I would say regarding men, okay? And I'm generalizing this, right? There's always exceptions to the rule. But, men can be, very conquest-like, right? They want to, achieve and conquer. And sometimes I feel like if they're in a friendship with a woman or a man that they are attracted to, it's that conquer thing in them that's almost just innate. And again, I'm generalizing that, if they were presented with the opportunity, and they may even see if they can make the opportunity happen, they would definitely do it, and like I said, maybe hinting towards it or shooting a shot a bit, throughout the relationship. Let's call a thing a thing. Whereas I feel women can separate that, because I feel maybe they're not so attached to the physical portion of attraction as men can be. And if they're not emotionally or mentally invested in a man, they could shut down that sexual side. Whereas I don't know if men can necessarily, well, I mean, of course they can, but I know it's a bit harder, because I feel like the sexual side can still be alive and well, even if the emotional and mental side is not there. They don't have to be, emotionally and mentally invested in you to want to have sex with you badly, and women have that happen too. But I feel like women are usually a little bit more inclined to be sexual with somebody that they want to be romantic with, in a way. So if a woman says, hey, she friend zoned you, then she all right with that. She ain't trying to have sex with you, whereas a man can friend zone a woman and be great, be perfectly fine with having sex. So I think that's what happens in those platonic relationships with men and women, is that the men, if they're attracted to the woman, they just be sitting waiting, opportunity presents itself, hell yeah. And they may even, like I said, shoot a little shots out there, see if they can make it happen. And I think that's when it gets tricky. But I feel like if the man respects the woman and has a great friendship with her, he's going to only push the envelope so much and be okay with the fact that she just wants to be friends. He may not love it, pretty sure it bruises his ego in a way, but he's going to be okay with it if he sees the value in their friendship, and it really, gives him, great companionship, great, partnership. And he's okay with that. He's okay with not pushing the envelope too much to lose that friendship. But again, presented the opportunity, hell yeah, he will smash. Okay. And that is what it is. If he's not attracted to the woman, all is well. Yeah, all is well. He when he pushed the envelope, But as far as women, if a woman is sexually attracted to a man that she's in a platonic relationship with, friendship with, it could be a bit hard too. I've been in a situation like that, but I feel like I was able to separate that and work with myself after a while, and if given the opportunity at the beginning, I would have been quite fine with being sexual with him. But then as I started really digging into it, I was like, nah, we're good. I think that, again, with women, we can kind of turn that off if the emotional, mental side isn't there romantically. But it happens too for women, being attracted to a friend, So that's the but. The but is attraction, that is the but, attraction. But again, if y'all really, really respect the friendship, you're going to make it work. And that is what it is. But if the person is way more invested in how they can satisfy their physical nature with you, and that's the only reason why they're being friends with you in the first place, then it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. It's going to rear its ugly head. And I've had that in a recent friendship with a man. And, I just kind of straight up told him, look, maybe we just need to be like acquaintances and associates, if you can't, be okay with the fact, that you're friend zoned. Let's just call a thing a thing. And I can completely understand if you're not okay with that, right? But let's just move on, because it's gonna make you frustrated, and it's gonna make me feel objectified that you keep trying to have sex with me, right? I'm gonna start feel some kind of way. Obviously, you're feeling some kind of way. Let's not have a big blow up and have it turn into something ugly. We may just need to throw in the towel. Okay. And I felt like we had to have a bit of space. I think things are getting better with that situation, but sometimes it just takes time. And again, it just depends on what value you both see in the friendship to keep it going. But it can be quite tricky. But it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible if the friendship is strong. But if it isn't, and there's attraction, that attraction may win over. And, that person may be in it to get it. And that's the number one thing on their mind. So it's possible. How do you feel about, being friends with a sex that you're attracted to? Be it the opposite sex or the same sex, being in platonic relationships with a sex that you're attracted to. How do you feel about that? I know a lot of people even feel some kind of way about having friendships like that while they're in relationships. And I used to kind of feel that way, you know, felt kind of uncomfortable, you know, with my boyfriend or partner having a friendship, especially with an attractive woman. The hell, you know? But now, as I've really cultivated relationships with the opposite sex, which is the sex I'm attracted to, and not cross that line, I totally see that it's possible just to be friends. And at the end of the day, you know, if I'm with somebody, I have to trust them. I can't just say, hey, you can only be friends with certain people, you know, because I know it's possible to be platonic if you want to, if that's the choice you want to make, period. You know, but I know a lot of people have a hard time with this. You know, they're like, oh no, you can't be friends with the opposite sex. You can't. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel it can happen? Would you feel comfortable with your partner having a friendship with the opposite sex or the same sex that they're attracted to? How would you feel about that? Do you think it's possible? Do you think they always sleep with each other? You know, some people always think and I know they don't. I don't. I can't speak for everybody though. And I know that it can be challenging. I'm not dumb that it can't be challenging. It can be. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I think I've chatted enough about this topic. But I think it's very interesting because I think having friendships with the opposite sex or the same sex you're attracted to can be very fruitful. Oh my God. You learn so much about opposing viewpoints, especially if it's the opposite sex. You learn so much about, you know, that whole other world, you know, because men and women think very differently a lot of the time. And it's so refreshing to get that point of view. It helps both of you, I feel, to understand the opposite sex a bit better. I love a good male friendship. It feels way more chill. I feel like we joke more. I feel like, you know, I love my male friendships. I'm so glad that I've cultivated those. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So I feel blessed to have them. I feel that they're essential, in my opinion. I will dare to say that, just because of the balance you get from the opposite sex. And if y'all friends, the value, the things they'll share with you to help you on your journey with understanding the opposite sex is just priceless, right? So I think that it's very important. I would recommend, I would recommend it, having friends with the opposite sex for sure in general. But what are your thoughts? You know, how do you feel about this? You know, I'm team yes. You could be friends, platonic friends, and you should have platonic friends of the opposite sex or the same sex you're attracted to. It is beautiful for your life. I'm team yes. Are you team no? Team maybe? Team I don't know. That's kind of sketchy. You know, be a lot of sketchy stuff happening. I don't know if I feel comfortable with my mate. You know, talking to a fine woman as his friend. You know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Please share in the comments below. I hope this conversation was fruitful. I wanted to do a video on this, so I'm glad that I was able to just to kind of freestyle it out. I hope it comes across to you in a way that makes sense, you know, because I'm kind of just brain dumping, mind dumping, and I know maybe there are some things I didn't touch upon, so just share your thoughts about it so we can expand on this topic. But I shall let you go. I hope you have a great day today. You see the beauty in today, and I'm signing off. Bye.